everything is changing in India.
It's like the difference between the Dark Ages and the Enlightenment.
We see huge potential, a market of 900 million people.
Things are happening here. India is opening up, and you can see the future.
Emerging Powers is made possible by the Ford Motor Company, where quality is job one.
Emerging Powers is supported by IBM.
With additional funding provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by the annual financial support of viewers like you.
Hello, I'm Consuelo Mack from the Wall Street Journal. While the Soviet Union dissolved and the Iron Curtain fell, a quieter revolution was taking place elsewhere in the world as other countries turned from state control to capitalism. Now these fast-growing economies are becoming world-class competitors and markets for the United States. One of these emerging powers is India, the second most populous country on earth. After decades of socialism, India's economic liberalization program is moving the country toward free markets and free trade. India could become one of the world's half-dozen leading economies within the next decade. In this hour, we'll be looking at this giant country in transition and introducing you to a different view of India from the one you may be used to. You may think of India as a third world country, but it's one with a space program, nuclear energy, a large industrial base, and an effective military that makes it a regional power. And for many of its 900 million citizens, poverty is giving way to prosperity. India has a rapidly growing middle class of more than 150 million people, more than the population of Germany and France combined. Their purchasing power is a major engine of economic growth. To follow this story, one that our own media often overlooks, we turn to Anita Ratnam, an Indian television correspondent and producer.
When I first began working in television 15 years ago, I didn't do it here. Back then, India had very few opportunities for a young person just out of college. So like many of my contemporaries, I left India and began my career in the United States. A few years ago, I returned, like many other expatriates, to an India. Other expatriates have returned to start businesses of their own. Arya Bhattacherjee is co-founder of Arcus Technology, India's first computer chip design company. Like many Indian engineers, Bhattacherjee went to the United States for his training. Then he worked in Silicon Valley at Intel and Cypress Semiconductor. But he and an Indian colleague wanted to strike out on their own.
So we said, let's form a company. Then we discussed what's our distinctive competence, what's our advantage. Say, hey, we're Indians, aren't we? So let's try to bring it in the equation and see how we can be competitive. Well, the competitive advantage boils down to really manpower. Manpower in the intellectual property domain.
Bhattacherjee knew he could draw on a vast pool of talented, well-trained computer engineers in India.
A real-time multiplier accumulator unit.
At first, things looked bright for the new company. Arcus received a government contract to set up a $100 million plant for manufacturing computer chips.
But that soon hit against the wall of bureaucracy. We wasted 3 years of our lives trying to get that project accomplished. It never happened. Because we got into this entire mess of non-liberalized economic India, and we were breaking our heads against the wall, and nothing happened. At that time, Arcus almost failed.
Arcus decided to focus on designing chips rather than manufacturing them. Then, at the same time, India's economic liberalization helped jumpstart the company.
The way the liberalization helped us, that we were able to bring in expensive hardware, software, and the basic equipment required to do chip design. And also we could attract talented people, expat Indians other than me, back to India.
Today, 15 of the company's 60 engineers are former expatriates who have left good jobs in Europe and the United States to work at Arcus.
In this company, I have a model by which they will make more money than anywhere else in the world. We have taken a very significant portion of this company and we have given it away to all the employees. I believe people can make a good amount of returns, at the same time be in India and be comfortable at their home.
So when do you start on the audio portion?
Arya Bhattacherjee also stands to profit from his company's success, but that's not the only reason he returned to India.
Beyond everything in life, it's very important for me to make a difference. And I feel as we are doing business, we are doing technology, if at the same time I can make a difference where it really matters. If I made one more big company in the US, I think I'll make a lot of money, but I think nobody will say it's a good job. But if I do a very simple company here with a little bit of difference, probably it'll be a role model. Maybe it'll be a signal for a lot of other companies and youngsters coming out here. So there are multiple reasons for doing this.